You got one paragraph, maybe two. That's how long readers are going to give you to convince them they need to care about this new character of yours. And if you run tabletop games, your players aren't much different. Those first few moments they spend with an NPC are going to determine whether or not that character's memorable or they just become that random guy in the tavern. So when you introduce a new character, do not start with eye color or a ton of physical description or biography or 23 pages of lore. Try this instead. I'm Holly Schindler, an award-winning author as well as freelance editor, writing coach, and writing instructor. Lead with action. You know, the fastest way to show people who a new character is to show us what they do. A character who holds an elevator door open is a much different person than a character who lets an elevator door slam shut on a woman with a baby in her arms. A shopkeeper who slips an extra loaf of bread into someone's bag gives off a different vibe than someone who's arguing with a customer over a single coin. New writers often try to introduce character with tons of physical description. Height, weight, what they're wearing. But readers actually don't connect with data, which is what that is, right? It's just data. They connect with behavior. Same thing happens at a game table, right? I mean, an NPC who is actively doing something, say haggling with a merchant or cleaning blood off a sword or trying desperately to hide a broken vase, is instantly more memorable than a character who's just waiting to deliver a quest. Try giving just one memorable detail. I know it sounds sort of counterintuitive. It seems like the more you give a reader, the better picture they can draw in their mind, but the opposite is actually true. The more details you pile on, the less likely your reader is to remember any of them. So instead of just piling it on, give your readers one detail that sticks. Maybe it's a scar your character is constantly trying to hide, or an expensive suit missing a button, or maybe you've got a guard who spends all his time, humming show tunes while he's checking IDs. Just one detail. Your readers and players will be able to fill in the rest. The best physical detail tells us something about the character. It reveals personality, insecurity, status, history, not just appearance. And this one is super important. Make us ask questions. Now, this is a common mistake any character creator makes. You spend weeks or months brainstorming this character. You want to tell your audience, whoever that is, everything about them. You don't want to do that. The reason is an introduction shouldn't answer questions. It should create them. Maybe a character flinches every single time they hear a particular name. Maybe they refuse to enter a specific room. They have some sort of really intense reaction to something that seems completely insignificant. Those actions create mystery. Your readers or players are going to begin to ask why. Once someone starts asking questions, it means they're invested. And finally, you want to give your character a unique voice. Now, I'm not talking about an accent or a way of speaking. I'm talking about a way they see the world. I'm talking about their own unique perspective. So you got two different characters walking into a room. They're going to notice different things. One notices the exits. One notices expensive furniture. One notices who seems uncomfortable in this gathering. One notices who's lying. Voice is never just dialogue. It's priorities. It's what that particular character pays attention to. Because, that's also what separates people in the real world. It's not just that we look different from one another. We think differently. So if you are introducing a new character, remember, lead with action, pick one memorable detail, create questions instead of answering them, and let their voice reveal who they are. Now, it doesn't matter why you're creating this character. Maybe you are writing a novel, maybe you're introducing an NPC at a game table, maybe you're trying to come up with the scariest story ever, while you're all sitting around a campfire. It really doesn't matter. Introducing a character is never about answering all the questions about them. When you introduce a character, you have one job, and it is to make people want more. Now I do have a free download about creating characters. It is a prompt list that will walk you through just some brainstorming techniques to help you come up with the most interesting character you possibly can. I got a link to it below. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. In the meantime, go write something.